They try to get us. They try to get us, Chuck. They try to shut us down.
All right, they can't shut us down. Come on now.
Hold up. So we gonna kick it back one more time. See, I hate when I do that, but my sound man is not here today. It's cool. It's cool. Everything's cool.
It's okay.
That was only in the beginning.
Okay.
So let me start over by saying this. Today we are here today, and we're here talking with our special guest, Mr. Chuck Futel.
Futel, your financial coach. Your financial coach.
Yes, he's your financial coach. And what I said earlier, for those who couldn't hear, thank you, Jamar. I know you can hear me now because I got it in the right little in the right things, the right inputs. So I know you can hear me now, man. I know you can hear me. Thank you for that, brother. Thank you for that. But today, man, he said, now I can see you talking. Now I can see you talking. No. But you can hear us talking, right?
No sound.
Can you hear us talking now? You should be able to hear us talking.
Let me go see. Are we gonna have to restart this over?
We might have to restart it over, but we're gonna see if he can hear us. He should be able to hear us.
Hold on.
Because it should be reading.
Are you a good man?
Yes, he said Jamar used it. Oh, Jamar been playing us. Yeah, he been playing us. We can hear the dang on thing.
Okay,
Jamar,
okay.
you set us up, man. Nah, thank you. Thanks, man. Thank you. But what I was saying, you cut it down. Man. You cut it down. Yeah, we cool now. But what I wanted to say was that, Mr. Chuck, man, if you have anything going on, any area of financial that you need help in, 401ks, retirement, IRAs, anything, savings, bonds, and I might be going a little too far, I don't know. But any of those areas, we about to standing, man. He's going to break it down from the rooting to the tooting so you can better understand. And I know, like, you know, when it comes to financials and somebody knowing your business and you get into your pocket, you kind of reluctant and scared and you want to stand back like, oh, I've been scammed before. I don't want to. Well, have no fear. Mr. Chuck is here and we're going to break it down. So, Chuck, let me ask you again, because I don't know if anybody heard me. I heard you was marching in the sun and this hot sun parading for somebody.
Yes, I was in the hot sun this morning for my wife. We were marching in the Black Family Reunion parade. And in that parade, they have a lot of political people, all this, that, and the other. And so my wife's running for Cincinnati Public School Board. So if you live in the Cincinnati area, we love your support with a vote. If you don't, we can take cash contributions. So we appreciate anything y'all can do. And that's what I was doing this morning. So we're out in the hot sun, but we're here. My wife and I, we're committed to helping people come up. That's really what our family's all about. So thank you.
Yes.
Can you tell them your wife's name so when they see
My wife's
your
name is Marcia Futel. Futel for the future of education. Futel for the future of education. Her name is Marcia Futel. She's on the ballot, so you'll see her this fall. Thank you.
Yeah, so y'all, Cincinnati Public School Board, get her on the ballot. I mean, she's already on the ballot. Get her in the seat so she can help your children so you can have a better education in Cincinnati Public Schools.
Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
That's amazing, man. We were kind of discussing, man. It's great to have us on the scene. We need more of us on the scene because, like, we can better assess. We know what we're going through, so it's good to have us on the scene, like, as a part of the whole, because you just can't have one side assessing a majority situation. You need both sides. You need to get a better balance.
Absolutely.
Would you agree with that, Chuck?
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Because most of a person's perspective comes from how they've been raised. And so if you haven't been raised around Black folks, well, then therefore your information is somewhat slanted based on what the media says.
Right.
You know, I look at people that come from China. There are people that come from China. They've never seen a Black person before in their life. 6 months later, they're afraid of Black folks.
Wow.
How did that happen?
Yes.
Well, it happened because of the media. So you need to have people that can tell the right story at the right time. And so media does good, but also it can slant things in certain ways.
Yes.
And that's a whole podcast in and of itself.
Man,
Right.
man,
Right.
you said it. You said it right. You said it
That's
right.
a mouthful right there.
Right.
Yeah, that's a whole nother podcast.
Whole
man.
nother podcast.
That's
So,
a whole nother podcast. I'm giving you ideas.
right.
Yeah.
So we talking about finances today. That's what
Yes.
I love to talk about. It's
Yes.
finances. Like, I mean,
She loves the money.
I love the money, but I love the Lord more. But I love
Yes,
the
yes.
money, so I love to talk about finances.
Yeah, so we definitely want to tap into finances, and I want to know. Let me see. How are we gonna start this? I'm trying to think where to start because it's a lot of people out there that's kind of scared to get into the financial situation, and they don't want everybody to know the business. When they're down, I don't want nobody to know. But when you're up, you're like, hey, let's make it rain. But so for those that really want to, I would say, get a better hold of their money, especially at an age like me. I'm a person that's not familiar. I'm right now today, I'm being a student. So I'm a person that is not very familiar with stocks and bonds and IRAs. And, when you have people coming to talk and speak about this, I kind of listen, then I get tuned out because I feel like I don't really know. And, I want to make sure I have a better hold on my financials, especially being married.
Yes.
So you definitely want to have, because it's not just you anymore. It's like, it's a team.
Right.
So you want to make sure that you have her back and she vice versa. So what is the person that's kind of scared, a person that's kind of lost control of their money? How can they get into being better control?
Good question. So let me flip it just a little bit. Let me tell my story of me.
Okay.
Because I
yes.
can start there, and then I think a lot of people can relate to what I'm going to share with everybody. First of all, I grew up in Chicago. So I grew up in Chicago, on the west side of town. And at the time, it was actually the poor side of town. There were 1 million people all around me. And so as a kid, just being in the ghetto, I just felt like nobody in Chicago got out the ghetto.
Right.
You died. Basically, they took you out with a body bag. You either died there or went to jail or prison and died in prison. So in my mind, becoming wealthy was something complicated. So I just wanted to make that point. So I thought being wealthy was complicated. Right. The other thing that happened in my life was an unfortunate set of circumstances. My dad died when I was 16 years old. So I was at a crossroad. I'm the oldest of 2 kids. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. And so here we are. We had bought a home for the first time, and then we lose my dad, who was a wage earner.
Right.
And so at that point, I really understood the importance of life insurance because my dad didn't have any. And so once again, that was another thing that was important in my past. So I made a decision. I told my mom I'm going to basically take care of myself, and she didn't have to take care of me. So that's where I got started. So I went to school.
You told your mother that at what age?
16.
Wow.
Yeah, I told her that at 16. So I was 16 years old, and just, I just felt like it was easier for her to take care of one child than 2.
Right.
I mean, just to me, that was just the simple math of it. Mom, I'm gonna hustle, do what I need to do. Don't worry about me. I'm gonna make it work. So I ended up going to school, going to college. And in my second senior year, the second
senior year.
That's not my second.
The
How'd
second-
you get 2 senior years?
because when
Explain that.
you don't get everything done the first time, that's how you
I've been through that. I've been through that a couple of
have a
times.
second
Right.
senior year.
Okay.
Yes.
So in my second senior year,
Right.
the second semester of my second senior year, I'd run out of money. And so I was broke. And so I had 5 addresses
5 addresses.
in 5 months. That means I was sleeping on somebody's couch, and then after a month, they kicked me out, and I go to another friend's apartment. They kicked me out, and I went to another friend's apartment.
Man.
And so I finally graduated. And so the thing I told myself, I said self, and I didn't understand at that time because I was angry at God because I thought God took my father away.
Right, right,
So I
right.
had this anger, and I swore, I said, listen, I spoke into the spirit realm. I said, things aren't going the way I want them to go. It ain't going to happen to me ever again like this.
Right.
And I'm going to get me a house next year. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to get me a house. But I didn't know that when you speak into the spirit realm and you say and continue to say the same things over and over, you get what you say. So 6 months later, I ended up meeting this guy who was a multimillionaire in real estate. And that's where my story really begins. And so I met him and I asked him, could he teach me about real estate? He said, sure. So that's where it began. He started mentoring me. And for 5 years, I sat up under his wings and he mentored me. So in essence, he was my rich dad. And he was talking to me about how rich people think and what they do and how to invest in real estate. And so after listening to him, I bought my home. It didn't take long. Basically, bam, he's teaching me the rules. He teaching me how to do it. I buy a home. It was so easy. I said, well, wait a minute. So the next year I buy an investment property. I bought a single family home. The next year I bought a 4-family. The next year I bought an 8-family. Then the next year I'm saying to myself, self, why do I need a job?
Right.
I'm like, why do I need a job? And they jump. We want roll over, Chuck. Roll over.
Yes, yes.
I'm like,
yes.
This ain't making no sense to me. And then a year after that, I ended up getting involved in the financial services industry. And I'm the type of person, if I got something, I'm going to give it to you. Because when I came up, everything was so challenging for me. It's so hard. And so I learned about real estate, and I had a little crew. I had a young crew with me and all these guys. I taught them real estate. They ended up having more real estate than I did because I sold mine off. But anyway, I taught them about real estate. I had clients. You don't have a home, you want a home, I'll show you how to get it. So I've helped hundreds of people get homes because of what I knew. And the thing I wanted to do is give to people. Now, I said to you in the beginning when we were talking before the tape turned on, I used to believe something that was not true.
Yes.
I used to believe at that time the reason why Black folks did not create wealth, didn't have homes, was because of knowledge.
Right.
So I got involved in the financial services industry. I got involved learning about real estate because I felt that it was a lack of knowledge or ignorance that was holding us back.
Right.
I've been in the industry now 42 years. That's not the issue.
That's not the issue.
Not the issue.
It's not the issue. Y'all supposed to say, well, Chuck,
What's the issue?
What's the issue? We're just waiting.
I need
My
y'all to say
ears-
Yeah, because that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's
My
what you thought.
ears is
Yeah,
over
yeah.
here.
So I really would, because this is the part I want to get, because once I tell you this, the information is easy.
Right.
See, right now in today's world, now, when I started it was different because back then you need to have a book, you need to know the right book to look and all that kind of shit. Because we got the internet, anything you want is on the internet, right?
Right.
You can go on the internet and just type something in. How to invest. What's a mutual fund? What's an IRA? It'll tell you exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But that ain't the reason why people don't become wealthy. Because the information's there. Am I right or right?
Right.
You're right. You're right.
The information is there. The real problem is that most people have what I had, and it's called financial trauma.
Financial trauma.
Make you want to say, what is financial trauma? Financial trauma is something that many people have. 68% of people in the United States have financial trauma
Right.
of one level or another. I believe Black folks have a higher level of financial trauma than white folks.
Yeah.
Here's
I
why.
agree.
Because most of us maybe grew up poor, or you were surrounded with your family and your community that was poor. So with that being the case, what you tend to do is you mimic or take on the characteristics of those people who are poor.
Right. Right.
You got it?
Yes.
So, and I'll give you examples. I'll give you an example. This is the part that used to really, I couldn't understand it. So when I get involved in the business, I'm talking to people about how to handle their money the right kind of way. I talk to a family, they're doing good. They're making $200,000, $300,000 a year. I ask them, how much money you got saved for emergency? Oh, I got $1,000. Oh, I got $2,000. Wait a minute. Y'all making $25,000 a month and you ain't got no money saved?
Man.
Then I look at them on the other side, and maybe they're making $300,000 a year, but they spending $400,000 a year because they carrying it on debt and credit.
Yeah.
And I was looking at that, and I'm like, doesn't make it. So I've seen it. It has nothing to do with income, actually. I've seen it with people that are struggling, people in the middle, and I've seen people that are wealthy. But it didn't come to me until just recently. The whole issue is what's called financial trauma. I'd give you a couple of examples because it's really, really important. Financial trauma occurs if maybe you were a child and you went through a situation where maybe you've been homeless.
Right. Yeah.
So that creates financial trauma. Maybe you've been in a situation where you had food insecurity. As a kid, maybe maybe 3 or 4, there's been periods of time where you've been hungry and you hadn't had food for 2 or 3 or 4 days and stuff like that. And that's happened several times. That creates a trauma for a young person. Maybe y'all have gone from one apartment to the next apartment, stuff like that. Maybe your credit wasn't good. And so as a kid, it has an impact on you. And there's 2 ways to look at it. Some people look at it, that's the way my future is supposed to be. And some people look at it and say, I ain't ever going to this place.
Right.
So let me give you some examples. These are real examples. I have a customer, and this individual's been working. And I go over to the house and I'm doing a financial review with them. And it was always curious to me. I couldn't understand. Well, wait a minute. You work in a job. Why do you have 3 ketchups? You got 3 bottles of ketchup. You got 4 bottles of mustard. You got 3 bottles of relish.
Yeah.
And you got a car. And so as I'm starting to unfold this individual told me, said, well, Chuck, I was in a situation as a kid, and many times we were hungry.
Right.
Got it?
Yeah.
And so now this individual says, that's never going to happen to me, but they overcompensate. And they end up just buying stuff. When they anytime they go to the grocery store, they buy more than what they need.
Yeah.
Because of a fear of not having food.
You
got it?
Right.
So that's why my sister got so many ketchups and mustard and everything you can name.
See, and that's what happens. So I want to give you some examples so you can look at this and really see. I'll give you an example here. One of my wealthiest clients came in and was retiring from his job, this, that, and the other. 7-figure account, $1 million. So anyway, I'm doing good, blah, blah, blah. And so I always ask people for names and referrals. So this person said, well, why don't you talk to my sibling? So I'm saying to myself, I'm going to get another $1 million account. I'm just thinking,
Right,
I'm just logical.
yeah.
I'm just thinking. So I meet the sibling. The sibling, the first guy had 20 times the amount of money of the sibling.
What?
20 times. Let me explain. They grew up in the same house, same parents, same schools. Everything's the same. So I asked this individual, I said, well, why is it that you accumulated so much money? They went on to say, well, listen, I would visit my grandfather, ask him for something. Grandpa said, I can't get it till the first of the month.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One sibling took it as, that's my future and that's the way I'm going to be. The other one said, when I want something, I want to be able to pay for it. And the one that flipped it, the one that flipped it ended up becoming wealthy.
Wow.
Wow.
See, financial trauma is the biggest thing that is really hurting our people.
I can see that.
Let me give you another example. There's a survey that says that by the year 2053, the net worth of Black folks will run to zero if the current trends continue. What is net worth? Net worth is all of the things you own. So if you take all the things that you own, your car, your house, your investments, all that stuff, bank accounts, and you convert that to cash, and you pay off all the debt, the money left over is what's called your net worth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So the wealthier you are, the bigger the gap between what you own and what you owe. So people that are wealthy, their money is way above the money that they owe out.
Right, right.
Okay? So what it says is that we're running a scenario where our wealth is going down. What's creating that? Well, it's the fact that we buy things that go down in value. Clothes, cars. I mean, we look good.
Everything.
We smell good.
Yeah.
We ride good. You got it? But those things don't grow in value.
Right.
Got it?
Yes. Yeah.
So we need to be buying things that grow in value. Buying a house, buying investments, having businesses. The 3 horsemen in America, those 3. That's in America. People that have successful businesses, people that have real estate, and people that have investments in stocks. Those are the wealthiest people.
Right.
Period. End of story.
Right.
Right.
You look at the billionaires, that's the 3.
It's facts.
It's a fact.
They don't too much care about clothes and the
Well, I mean, it's clothes important, all that kind of stuff. But what happens is you can buy clothes, you can buy nicer clothes when you can afford it.
Right, exactly.
So what happens is, oftentimes in our community, what we're trying to do is to make ourselves feel good by dressing up, and so that we can look more prosperous than we are.
Exactly.
And so what we're doing is we're trying to impress people, quite frankly, don't even care anything about you.
Exactly. Yes.
See, we're going to have some
True.
real truth. We're doing this podcast to do some truth. Well,
some real truth.
Truth.
Yes.
So what happens is we want to impress people, and we want to impress people, and they don't care anything about you. You go to church, you want to look good, smell good, and then when that person die, you know, they cooking chicken and to bury this person. You know what I'm saying? They have to put together money to bury this person. Oh, the person. So we got to stop that. That's not good. But it's all coming from what? Financial trauma. See, the financial trauma is the issue. I give you another fact. Right now, today, we own less real estate than any other minority.
Yeah.
I never thought that the American Indian and Hispanics would own more real estate than we do. We used to.
Right.
20 years ago, we were higher than them. But what has happened over time, we just stopped doing it.
What is that? What how did that happen?
Financial trauma. Because financial trauma, and I'm going to get into what it looks like, because I'm giving you the symptoms, I'm giving you what it looks like. But I'm going to get into this whole thing of financial trauma, because once I deal with financial trauma, I can force people to look at themselves in the mirror, and if they have financial trauma, they can deal with it. Now, I had financial trauma. Once again, I told you I grew up on the west side of Chicago. Everybody was broke and poor. I went through this scenario. And so what happened is, and it's taken me years to deal with this, I had a limit on my ability and my income. Ain't that deep?
You put a limit, you put a cap on it yourself.
I put a cap on myself.
Yeah.
And the reason why I put a cap on myself is that when I started working and I brought my mom my check that I had made, she said, boy, they paying you more money than they pay me per hour. Now I was just working during the summer.
Right.
But that was the opportunity I had. I was making, and so in my mind, I said to myself, I'm always going to make more money than my community. But that was a limit. Other people had worse limits, but that was that was my limit.
Yeah.
I threw that away. Once I figured out what it was, I got rid of that one. It's gone.
Right.
I don't have no limits. And the reason why I don't have no limits is because that's not God's plan. See,
Yeah.
God didn't limit people.
Yeah.
See, limitations comes from men.
Mm-hmm.
Men put limitations. That's why we had this whole thing with black and white. That's why we had this whole thing male, female. What man does, they put limits and they use limits to control things.
Right.
Ain't that deal?
Yeah. They do.
So they call names, they create things to control things. And I believe in what God says. When God created you, he said you were good. And so I want to go with that one.
Yeah. I definitely can see what you're talking about when you're saying everything you're saying right now. I'm looking up in the sky, like trying to reach for back when I did. Do I have any traumas, or have I put limits on the caps, like caps on my financials? I'm like, yeah, I have.
Yeah, we have. So what happens is we have. So when a person has financial trauma, let me give you what it looks like. Financial trauma looks like a person, and you gave examples, a person that's reluctant to look at their finances, a person's reluctant to set up investment accounts, a person that's reluctant. People go to banks every day, and I always do this just because I know what it is now. I ask people, well, what does your bank pay? What interest the banks pay? People go to bank all the time. They can't even tell me what interest the banks pay.
Right.
They have a bank statement. They can't even look at the statement. They look at the statement. They say, well, at least I got money in the bank. That's all they're looking at.
Yeah.
They're not looking at the important information. You got it?
Right.
That's financial trauma.
I have financial trauma. I have it.
Most people got
you.
People won't look at it. So when I ask people, this is really interesting. I say, well, here's what I'd like you to do. Get your investment statements. I don't know where they at. Why don't you dig them up? I don't know where they come. They come every 3 months, but they don't know where they at.
Right, they do.
What'd you do with it? Oh, I shredded them. Why'd you shred them? This is important information.
Right.
I don't know.
They don't want nobody to get it, but they haven't taken the time to look at it like me.
They don't know if they're making money or losing money.
Man.
That's called financial trauma.
Right.
It is.
I have financial trauma, Chuck. I'm not gonna lie.
That's right. Well, we're gonna get you together, my brother.
Right, because I think when you get that statement, all you want to see is make sure what
how
you
much
know
you got, how much they took from me. Do you have overdraft fees or something?
Like, okay, I put this in there. Is that still in there?
Right,
and that's
Yes.
based on financial trauma. Financial trauma says, here's what financial trauma says: I'm afraid of losing.
Yes.
I'm afraid of losing. So financial trauma is based on losing, but the problem is that people that have financial trauma always lose. The thing
That's
that you're
crazy.
trying to keep from, you actually give yourself more of.
Right.
I give you an example. I give you another example. The CPA called me. He said, Chuck, my client has $1 million cash sitting in the bank. I said, really? This guy really needs to talk to me. Once again, I didn't know this stuff about financial trauma.
Right.
And so on the bank statement, $1 million sitting in the bank, the interest on this $1 million only gave him $20
That's it?
for the year.
The year.
This guy could not take his fiance to a restaurant and buy her a meal based on the interest of the money.
Right.
You hear the words coming out of my mouth?
Yes.
Wow.
Because he ain't looking. And then when I start talking to this individual, both him and his fiance came from poor upbringing. So the only thing they were doing, he worked, he basically paid the bills, and they saved her salary for years. And I tried to get them to move it, they couldn't do it. Why? The fear of loss.
So where do they live at?
They live here in Cincinnati.
Oh, they live in Cincinnati.
These are people who live right here in Cincinnati.
You say you try to get them to move the money or move their location?
I want them to move their money to me. I want to be their investment advisor.
They couldn't do it or they wouldn't?
Couldn't do it because the fear of loss, it was so overpowering to them, they just couldn't do it.
They felt like they was about to get scammed, right? Or
I
just
don't know.
like
I don't know if they felt like they were going to get scammed because I got all the credentials. I tell people right away, I got more licenses than you got letters in your name. And everything I do, because of the licensing, when you're in the investment industry, most people don't know it. Investment industry is actually above the banking industry. My protocols and the things I have to know are even stronger than what banks do. And the reason being is that there's more money in the investment side than in bank.
I can see that because like when you look at the interest rates, it's crazy.
So that's what the interest rates are. Once again, if you're saving money in the bank, you're always losing. If you're borrowing money from the bank, now that's a little nuanced, but if you're borrowing money from the bank, most of the time you are losing.
Right.
Now, the reason why it is that if you have to think about it, the bank is in business to make a profit. So what a bank does, and this is one of the rules, one of the wealth creation rules that we teach people. The first wealth creation rule that we teach people is number one, you want to bypass the middleman. Bypass the middleman. Now, what am I saying? What I'm saying is that your money has power.
Right.
You don't want to give the power of your money away.
Right.
Most people give the power of their money away. How do you give it away? So what happens is most people save their money where? Banks, credit unions, insurance companies, and the IRS.
Right.
So these organizations, they give you zero to very little return. Chuck, is that true? Yes. If you get a tax refund, the IRS gives you zero interest on your money. They hold your money for a whole year and they give it back with no interest. Let you be late. The IRS is going to hit you with a penalty and interest.
Right.
Yes.
You see what
so
I'm saying?
they're making money off of you.
They're making money off from you. See, you got to look at things in a different lens and flip it. So most people put their money in a checking account. The checking account pays you zero. Now, if you're putting more money in, maybe you can have a special bank account, checking account. They might give you 0.1 or 0.2, 0.01 and 0.02. That's like next to nothing. That's why this guy had $1 million and only got $20 at the end.
What? I don't want to cut you off, but what is the best option for somebody? If I'm working, do you need to have a direct deposit account, or is it something else you should have?
Well, you need to have a direct deposit into your bank,
right?
Because you need the bank to do what? To write checks to pay your bills, right?
Right.
But everything above that don't need to be in a bank.
Right.
So in other words, the money above that, money that's going to your savings, money that's going to retirement, money's going to emergency funds, don't need to be in a bank.
Right.
So the money goes into the bank is only for me to write checks off from. Everything else, if I'm going to work, my money's going to work.
Right.
So I'm not going to give up the power of my money.
Right.
That's wealth principle number one. So I give you two examples. Now these are, I'm going to offend some people, but it's okay. So when you rent, guess what? You giving your power of your money to the landlord. Yeah.
Right.
Because, and people seen this when the pandemic hit, if you were paying $1,000 rent, guess what? Your rent's $1,500. If you were paying $1,500, it's now $2,000, $2,500.
Yeah.
So what happens is, what you're doing is you're giving your money away. At 30 years later, the only thing you got to show for it is rent receipts. In our community, we say, once again, because we don't understand, we say, well, Walnut Hills is our community, Madisonville is our community, the West End is our community. No, not if you own the property there.
Right.
The people that own the property is their community.
Yes. Yes.
So we say these words. That's financial trauma. When you have financial trauma, you use words you don't understand.
Right.
You say things you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
That's financial trauma. So we talk about these are our communities. Not if you own the property.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the first rule of wealth creation is you have to make sure that your money's working for you.
Right.
Yes.
If it's not working for you, it's working for somebody else. You ain't gonna win.
Yeah.
You have to be consciously aware of where your money's going. Every dollar, I got a name on it. Every dollar, retirement, emergency savings, paying cash for our next car. This account is my trip account. This one is for taxes.
When is the last time? Let me ask you this. When is the last time you said something about a car? And I heard an old school tell me like, man, I would never ever do a loan on a car. So when's the last time you ever did a loan, or you just I never did that? I don't even speak that language.
Well, here's what happens. The way you want to do it. This is if you have a car loan. I'm going to give you the secret. If you have a car loan, once you pay your car off, take that payment and invest it.
So you paid it off.
So you paid it
off.
So if you can pay a car note,
right,
you have the discipline to save that car payment.
Man, I never thought about it.
See, what happens is people take that car payment and they start partying. Woo! I'm excited.
Yes.
I don't care what your car payment is.
Yes.
I don't care if it's 500, 600,000. Take that car payment, and we have an account that gives a great interest rate. Right now, it's paying about 8%. So you can put it in this account, and so the next time you want to buy a car, guess what? You can pay cash for it. See, when you go to a car dealership, the car dealership, they know you coming.
Yeah.
Here's what they do. Once again, I teach people on my webinar every Thursday. I teach them. Listen, when you go to a car dealership, don't fall for the sucker punch. When you go to a car dealership, first thing they ask you is what?
How much you can put down?
No, they ask you what's your monthly payment.
Oh, yes. What you want your monthly payment to be?
Right.
That's it. And when you answer that question,
they got you.
They got you. I mean, the werewolf is on your throat, man.
Right.
It's chewing your throat. You can't answer that question. You look at them dead in the eye and say, sir, I got one question. What is the cost of this car? And if you can't tell me the cost of this car, and I'm going to buy one today, I'm going to walk out this store right now.
So based off of you, when they ask you like, how much can you afford it? As soon as you say that, they off of that, what you just said, they gonna take the price up a little bit, or
no? They start sweating because they know you know what you're doing.
Right.
So I'm giving you the words to control them. See, they got a system for you. See, if you don't know what's going on, everybody's selling you on something, and oftentimes it's not for your good. So when you go into a car dealership, what you do is you tell them what is the cash cost. If I'm writing you a check right now today, what is that cost?
Right.
Right. Because I can see, like, if you go in there and you see a car and the Kelly Blue Book is like $15,000, just say, for instance. And then once you get it financed or whatever, they're going to almost double it. You're going at the end.
Exactly, because of interest. So in other words, you pay an interest on it, it gets into your credit and all this kind of stuff. Listen here, when you pay cash for a car, it doesn't make a difference what your credit is.
Right.
Exactly.
Now, see, now we're talking about that. Credit is a system of control.
Yeah.
It is.
It is a system of control. Yeah. It's a system of control. So once you understand there's a system of control, you want to work to be outside of the system of control.
Yeah.
You want to be outside of that system of control. And so it's kind of goofy the way it works, but guess what? The banks make the most money off of people that have poor credit. Because if you have good credit, your interest rate is real low.
Right.
So they make most of their money off of what? People that have poor credit.
Poor people. Or people with poor credit.
Poor credit.
People with poor
Hello,
credit.
somebody.
Right,
Yeah.
because you be so anxious to get something, they say, "Hey, we get you this, but your interest rate going to be this high, and you so desperate to get it, and so you go for it."
Listen here. Once again, if you have financial trauma, you don't know what the interest rate is. The only thing you want is you want that car.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing you know is you want that car, and they promised me a payment of $600. Now, you don't know if it's $600 for 3 years, 4 years, or 8 years. And see, that's how they get you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because there's a big difference between paying on the car for 3 years versus 8 years. You
Yes,
got
it is. Yes, it is.
So that's why you can't fall for that game. What's the monthly?
Right.
See, they get you.
And,
Yeah.
and nowadays, like when you get you get a car now and you paying on it, the loans or whatever. Remember, it used to be like you get a car loan for like 36 months. And so like now it's like 70 months now.
It's
Yeah,
71
72
months.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
it
where
is.
did that even
It is.
Once
Oh,
again,
man,
because the
like-
cars have become so much expensive, and what they're doing is they're trying to squeeze it down so that you can't say no.
Yeah.
Oh, this beautiful car, just the way you want it.
Yeah.
With all the insides.
Yeah.
You can go to church and impress all your friends that hate you. And that's what they do. And so you get the car, you fall for the game.
Yeah. That's true.
But when you're younger, that'd be so excitement. So now me sitting at 53 years old, that's where like me and him going back and forth to now what we do, because we need a second car, another car now. We need another car.
Yeah, we about to make
And
some better decisions.
We like
it ain't
what
about
do-
to be
like,
no
'cause
loan.
because we in our 50s now. So it's like, you
It's-
going back
yeah.
and forth,
Yeah,
like,
you-
like
like-
what we want to do with it. Like, do we want to be 53 and he'll be 54 and we pay on a car for 6 years then or
I don't wanna do
out,
that.
and after 60 we still paying on this car? So do we just take what we got saving and then just go ahead and buy us a car all the way out? So that's what we going back and forth. But like you said, the financial trauma, it's like take what you got saved and go buy a car, and then you don't have that money in the bank no more.
Right.
Or do you want to just go put down on
Good
something
question, good
and pay
question.
that out?
Good
So
question.
that's where
So this is where, once again, that's the reason why we do our webinar we do every Thursday, because we want to help people walk through this decision process. So cars are something that's part of Americana.
Right.
We have to have a car, but we don't need to be trapped by our car.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I mean, and don't. I was there too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I bought a car years ago because one of my guys said, "Chuck, man, you can make more money and do more business if you had a nicer car." And so I ended up buying this car, and it had all this stuff on it. Nobody had the stuff. I had the stuff in my car. It didn't increase my business at all. Folks didn't even care.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
right.
I mean, they didn't care. I didn't had all kind of cars. I mean, I had a BMW all-wheel drive. That car was a beast. Dual turbos. I mean, it could ride on the side of the wall, go on the top of the ceiling. It was just
Power.
It had power. It was just crazy.
Right.
It increased my sales.
It ain't increase.
In fact, that thing. So anyway, I mean, the only thing it gave me was expensive car repairs all the time. So I mean, I've been there, I've done that, but what I'm teaching people is this: you have to make sure that you protect yourself. See, right now we can't play around. The current administration basically says that there's nobody going to save your family anymore. We're waiting on people to save us, and there's nobody's going to save us. What we have to do is we're going to have to handle our own money in the right kind of way, and we need to think the right kind of way, because there's no savior coming to save us financially. Those days are done. So that's the thing that we're looking at. So you want to handle your finance. So here's what I recommend, is that there are 3 accounts everybody should have. The first account is what's called an emergency savings.
Okay.
Number 1, your emergency savings is just that. The question is not, will you have an emergency? The question is what? When?
right.
Something's going to jump up and bite you in the tail feathers. You just don't know when. You don't know when it's coming. It's called life. Every year, we've had an emergency.
Right.
Yes.
Every year.
Yes.
Sometimes we had an emergency twice in a year.
Right.
Every year we've had an emergency. So if you don't have an emergency savings, you're hurting yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Right.
always put
Everybody
yourself
need
in a
that.
position where you're going to fall down.
Yeah.
So how much should you have in emergency savings? Well, if you ain't got none, start with whatever you have. And then what we recommend people do is to put money in what's called a money market account through a mutual fund.
So this is number 2, money
This-
market.
Yeah. So so money market is where you put your money in for the emergency savings.
Oh, okay,
Right.
money market.
So the emergency savings needs to go in a money market,
Okay.
not in your bank savings account, but in the money market account. Because the money market
Interesting.
account is paying 4% right now,
Oh,
whereas the savings account is only paying 0.01
gotcha.
or 0.02. So it's paying 4%. So that's, I don't know how many times greater. It's way greater
The money market is at your bank or with
with an advisor.
an advisor. Okay.
So it's
Okay.
with an advisor, it's through a mutual fund. So you can get it through us. You can go to Fidelity. You can go to all these different big companies. They have what's called a money market fund.
Right.
And so they all pay right now about 4%. There's no fees on it. You need your money, you can pull it out. You can put money in it. So that's where you save your money. So you save your money because you want your money to be there when you have an
An
emergency.
emergency. And
Right.
then 4% is what accumulated over
That's interest over a year.
a
Over
year.
a year.
So
Okay.
if you have $100, well then that means that at the end of the year you got $4 by the end of the year.
Right.
Got it?
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
4%. Right.
Yeah.
So if you have $1,000, guess what? You got $40. That's why the guy that's making $1 million, he had 20. I was like,
Right.
he was putting his money in a checking account. Anything I could have done for that family would have been way better. Because on $1 million, they would have earned like 40,000
That's what. Yeah.
instead of $20.
Did you explain that to them? They still was like,
Yeah. Financial trauma.
man.
People can't
It's
unless
hard to overcome.
unless a person looks at their financial trauma and says, this thing that happened in the past is a boogeyman. And this boogeyman don't exist anymore. This was in my childhood. It don't exist right now today. So you have to say to yourself, my financial trauma happened 10 years ago, 20 years, 30 years ago. It's not happening right now today. So I don't need to be afraid.
Right.
Got it?
Yeah.
So the first thing we do is the first account everybody needs to have is what's called emergency savings.
Emergency savings.
And you need to do this before you do anything else, because if you don't do it, you create a cycle where you take money out of your investment. You don't want to take your money out of investment too soon. You want it to sit in there and grow. That's the first account. The second account is what's called a short-term savings account. Your short-term savings account, as I mentioned, is for your car. You pay your car if you put in your short-term savings. You know it's going to be 3, 4, 5 years down the road before you pull that money. And so you stacking that money up, you ain't going to touch it, because the purpose of it, like I said, your money needs to have a name on it.
Right.
Yes.
So this account is my new car
New car account.
right?
Or new car money.
New car money.
Right.
And so you build it up. And so you do that. Let's say you're going to take a trip. You want to take a trip out of the country. Let's say it takes you 2 years to save the money. It's still good. You save it up. You don't want to put it on your credit card.
Right.
Because your credit card, the interest right now today on a credit card is 20% if you got good credit and 30% if you got bad credit. So you're going backwards.
Right.
So like I said, your short-term savings account, if you're saving something for your house, if you're saving for your car, you're saving for a trip, you put in that account. That account is for 2 years and maybe up to 5 years. Now, what we do is we put an investment account, doesn't fluctuates a little bit, but it gives you a high interest rate. So we do that for people and help them grow their money. The third account is what I call the wealth account.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your wealth account is your long money. In other words, stuff you ain't going to touch for 5 years or longer. So in other words, y'all in your 50s, you know, if you set money set aside for retirement, then you're looking at the next 15, 17 years. So you set that money up. You want to grow it. You don't want to touch it until you get to that time frame.
That's right.
And you put any, so somebody can say, oh, I don't know how much I should put in there. You put anything you can, or how you doing this?
Good question. No, you don't put anything you can. Because what tends to happen if a person has financial trauma, this is what they'll tell me. They say, Chuck, what's the least amount I could put in it? I said, that's not the right question.
Right.
So the better question is, how much do I need to put in order for me to be in a good position when I get ready to retire?
Gotcha.
Completely different question.
Right.
Right.
Got it?
Yeah.
Now, if you're working and getting started, the least you should do is you should do at least what's called a Roth IRA.
Roth IRA.
Roth IRA. And so you can put $7,000 in there in a year, and you just break that up on a monthly basis, and you just put that in there. So what we have is we have a lot of people, and they just put that in on a monthly basis. So the husband and wife, they put that in there, and that's their start, if you will, for accumulating for their retirement.
Right.
Now, the reason why I like a Roth IRA, it has a lot of advantages. I'm just going to go over the two biggest ones. The big advantage is that the money that's in there grows tax-free. So in other words, the growth on their money, you don't have to pay tax.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing.
The second thing is that when you pull the money out, you don't
get
any
penalized.
taxes. You don't have to pay any taxes.
Right.
So with some accounts, let's say like a 401k, most 401ks, you have to pay tax on the money when you pull it out.
Yeah, right.
IRAs, you have to pay tax on the money when you pull it out. Your pensions and profit sharing plans, you have to pay tax on the money when you pull it out. The reason why the Roth is so beautiful, and this is it, I'm going to give you something. If I have a young person and all they do is $100 a month, $100 a month at a 12% return for 40 years, they have $1.1 million. Wait a minute. Think about what I just said. Just $100 a month.
$100 a month.
If a person has financial trauma, they can't even do it. I said, listen, I'm going to promise you, you're going to be a millionaire. They can't do it. Can't see it. But here's what it does. $100 a month, I always break things down to the ridiculous. $100 a month is only $25 a week.
Yeah.
Most people blow $25 a week.
Easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
More than that.
That's right.
Go to eat 2 times. That's more than $25 a month.
More than that.
Yeah.
More than that.
We're guilty.
So my point. So the point is, in America, see, investing and becoming wealthy is just a math problem. Once you understand the math, it's easy.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm spending so much time talking about financial trauma, because I would go home at night and I said, I can't get it. I'm trying to get this guy to do $100 a month, and he didn't want to do it. I'm promised he could be a millionaire. He don't want to do it, but I didn't understand it at that time. I used to think maybe I didn't say the right words.
Right.
I didn't do it right. I was thinking it was me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know people aren't coming in our community talking about, I want to help you become a millionaire.
Right.
They ain't coming to our neighborhood doing that. That's why I got involved in this business. So in any event, but that's the beauty of it, man. So it's really a math problem. That's why we want to encourage people, because if you want to win, I can help you win. I know the math.
Right.
Buying insurance is a math problem. Being in debt and getting out of debt is a math problem. Buying a car is a math problem. Buying a house,
everything's a math problem.
No, when you come to money and finance, it's a math problem.
Right.
And so, so the math is not that tough, and what we do is we help people to get there. So there are some other things that we do, but I'm giving you.
I want to say this before, but look, it's already an hour, and it's like it seemed like it was only 15 minutes.
We're just having fun, man.
Right.
That's crazy.
We're having fun.
Right.
We can't end the show. I mean, I don't know if you gotta go, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, if we had to end the show like soon and you had to leave, you got to come back. 'Cause I don't really want to end the show because it's like I still want to ask some more questions.
Yeah, we'll get some more questions in. Let's go and finish this because we get some more questions in.
I want to say sorry. I don't cut you off. Just what you were saying about the math, and then when you're young, you just don't realize that. And like with math, like I'm good at math too, but when you young, you don't use the knowledge that you know about math. And I think like a lot of people used to say, how you know this? You so smart at math, you so good at math or whatever. And now that I'm older, like you just said, math, once you learn the formula,
once
you gotta know that formula.
Yeah. But once you got it, you got it.
You got it. It's like math is it's easy. You just got to know the formula.
The formula.
So now,
Exactly.
even in life with your money and stuff, once if
Exactly.
you get, but I didn't take my math, what I know about math into like finances and stuff like that. I just knew how to help people solve a problem, like a math problem, and
And you
like
did it
do
that
it.
way,
I
yeah.
knew how to do that. But now that I'm older, what you're saying, it's like once you know a formula to it, it's like you saying with the IRAs, and you can move your money around and stuff like that. You got to know the formula in order to succeed in math and come up with the best with the answer to the problem.
Exactly. So let's talk about it a little bit. That's why I was able to show people how to buy houses. I knew the formula for buying a house.
Break it. Tell us some of the formula of buying a house. I want to hear it.
Well, buying a house is based on a couple of things. You have to know. It's like anything else. You have to know how to show up in order to buy a house. There's certain things that a bank looks at in order for you to buy a house.
Right.
And so what does it look like? So first of all, you got to have a kind of like a stable income. So the first thing they're looking for is your income. They need to see that you got a stable income, that type of thing. So your income has to be there. The next thing that you want to look at is you want to look at your credit, because your credit is an important part of the formula. Okay.
Mhm.
And so there's some things that you can do to fix your credit, improve your credit. And credit is something, once you know the formula, you can always fix your credit.
Right.
People pay money for folks to fix their credit. That's ridiculous.
You
need to know for yourself, because you're going to have to know how to do it for the next 30, 40 years anyway.
Right.
So you need to know how to work on your credit. And then the other thing a bank looks at is they look at, do you have money to come to the table? They want to know if you're running your finances in the right way.
Right.
They want you to have a down payment, closing costs, and they want to see an emergency savings. So if you got that stuff in place, they'll always give you
the house.
They give you the house.
So the main thing again that you're saying is the main
You
thing.
got to have a stable income. You got a stable income. You got to have credit, reasonable credit. Then you got to have the down payment and stuff like that. So you have to have down payment, closing costs, basically money in the bank. They want to see money in the bank.
Right.
They need to see the fact that you are building money up.
Right.
Because what they want to know, here's what the bank wants to know. They want you to buy the house and pay them the mortgage. Because that's how they max out their profit.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't want the house. They don't want to get the house back. So if they have a clue that you ain't going to keep the house, they don't want you. Because they don't want to get the house back, because they can't do nothing with it. Their system is based on you paying interest. Interest is no more than bank's profit. Interest on your credit card, bank's profit. Interest on your mortgage, bank's profit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they use a word, once again, they use a word that most people don't understand, but that's all it is. It's the bank's profit.
Right. So basically what I'm hearing too is for us, like the house, like you said, they want to make sure your credit is good.
Yep.
They want to make sure you have money for a down payment and for the closing costs. And they want you to have emergency savings. So they want you to stay for that. This is me. I'm thinking they want you to have that emergency savings right there, because like you just said, they don't want the house back. Are you able to, if you get in a situation where you can't pay it, you have this money, because they don't want you to foreclose on it or give it back.
Right.
So they want to see, are you can save money.
They want to
to
see
have
that you
those
can save
situations
money. They
come.
want to see that you can save money. Embedded in that, they don't say it this way, but what they're really looking for is, do you have what's called a spending plan? Do you know where your money's going? You follow me? That's embedded in there, because they want you to be able to say, okay, this is my mortgage payment. I need to set aside money for maintenance and repair of my house. You see what I'm saying? They don't say it this way, but this is what they really mean. They want to know that your finances are strong. Enough, because think about it this way. The bank only gives money to folks that they know they can get money back from.
Exactly. I mean, yeah.
Right? So if somebody wants to borrow money from you, say, why don't you go to the bank? Why don't you go to the bank?
I should have told my daughter that
Yeah,
yesterday.
you say, go to the bank and borrow some money. Yeah, tell them to go to the bank. So people don't mess with me. They say, well, no. Why don't you go to the bank? Because see, because the people that can't get it from the bank ain't going to pay you anyway.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true.
Oh,
I can
boy.
see that. I can see that.
Yeah. So let's talk about investing. I'm going to do just a little bit on investing. So I talked about the wealth account. So one of the best ways is what's called a wealth account. A Roth IRA is a good place for you to put the money.
Mhm.
If you have a 401k at your job, and particularly if the 401k where the company matches, you want to take advantage of the match because that's free money.
Right.
So if your company is going to put 50 cents on every dollar you put into the account, you need to go for it.
Right.
Yeah, you get all of that free money because the compounding of that free money over time is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars to you.
Right.
So you go get that. You go get that money and take advantage of it. So your wealth account, it could be an IRA, it could be a Roth IRA, it could be your 401k, it could be your deferred comp through your job. If you work for the government, thrift savings plan, whatever it is, those are long-term accounts. Investment real estate is a wealth account because if you got investment real estate, once you pay the mortgage off, all that income is coming to you. You know what I'm saying? So all of those things are wealth accounts, which you want to have once you get down the road. You want to make sure that your wealth account is big.
Right.
You got it?
Right.
Make sure that wealth account is big.
It's big because if it's not big, you're going to be saying, welcome to Walmart.
Wow.
Or you're going to die working. And in America, that don't need to happen.
Right.
But it happens to many people. Why? Because most folks don't know what to do.
So
the
many.
trauma.
So many.
It's that financial trauma.
That's trauma.
But then I've just been even when you retire, whatever, and me, like I've been working in long-term care facilities for over 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And even you can see people who didn't have much and then people who was wealthy or whatever. It's just, to me, it's off topic from that though, but it's just like a lot of people who work so much all their life to end up in a nursing home and even enjoy none of
Their money.
the money, because once you come into those settings like that, they
Yes.
take all that from them.
Yes.
They take it all, like their retirement, they take all of that from them.
And it's getting more scary because like
They
getting
take
rid of
their
Medicaid and all. It's like now it's like really scary for
it's-
somebody our age.
Yeah, I see it all too often. It's like these people that worked all their life that have 2 and 3 homes and all this money in the bank, and then if the family put them in those nursing homes, they get their money.
Yep.
They get to take all that money.
Yeah, they do. So, but there's workarounds. Once again, that's why you want to have a financial coach or financial advisor that you work with, because believe it or not, there are workarounds. Even people in those situations, what happened is they weren't working with somebody that can help them protect their assets. There are ways around it.
Right.
A number of our clients, if they get in a situation where they're sick and stuff like that, can't touch their stuff.
With me,
What's-
with the financial trauma, it's like if I had that much money or whatever, and now that I see it, if I had that kind of money, like it may be not your workaround, but my workaround would be like if just say I had 3 houses. I know I'm getting older. I want to put this house in my daughter's name. I want to give it up.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
because they're younger, they can have it longer. Or, because you don't know, like you will hopefully like your loved ones will, when you
Protect
you, but not their case, they put them in there and they just leave them there. So now all they, so you want it, I think at some point when they get older or whatever, that's how I be looking at it when I be seeing it happen. Like, why didn't they get a daughter or somebody to,
somebody
that.
Yeah, once again, it's a financial trauma. We've had people, I'll give you in our community, African American community, you have people that have done the right thing. They went to work, made money, saved money, bought a house, paid the house off. But then guess what? They lose their house. You did everything right except that bottom line. So what tends to happen in our community, we don't have things to move assets from one generation to the other.
Right.
Got it?
Right.
I follow
So you have a person die and they don't have a will. They don't have what's called a transfer on death document on their house. And so what happens is it goes into the court system. It goes into the court system. And guess what? The state of Ohio has a will for you, even if you don't have one written out. So I recommend everybody have a will. And so you can specify how you want your stuff to go. So what happens, many of our people, we don't have stuff in place. We don't have durable power of attorney, which is part of the document that you run into in your part. They don't have what's called a living will. So there are some things from a financial planning standpoint that a person needs to put in place so they can be successful and start moving stuff from one generation to the other generation. So there are ways to do this.
Right.
But once again, a lot of times people, financial trauma, they don't know who to ask or what to ask so they can get the right answers because it happens all the time.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So we want to move our game up. And I'll do this one last part. Let's get into investing a little bit and then we'll call it a day. If you want to, we can come back. And
we got to come back. I'm sorry. We got to come back because I got some questions in my head I want to ask, but I'm definitely, me and my wife definitely going to be reaching out to you. Like, we're going to get some numbers together today, swapping some numbers. Boy, we already got your number.
You got my number.
But I definitely.
I get your information.
In fact, we got to.
I'm going to send you a free book. We have a free book. Everything dealing about money. I'm going to send that to you.
Right.
Everything dealing with money. So in other words, the stuff what I start to talk about, it's in the book. It talks about what are the 3 accounts you need to have. It talks about how banks rip you off. It talks about retirement accounts. It talks about insurance, what you need to know about insurance. So it goes over all of the financial stuff that you need. And in fact, if you don't like reading, they got it in videos too. So you can press the video and let the video tell you what it is.
Okay.
So you got it both ways. So I got a gift for you and anybody else that wants to get in touch with me, I'll give it to you. Because once you understand what we're doing here, we're making a difference in the lives of people.
Yes.
And that's what it's all about.
Yes, it is.
See, when I first got involved in the business, I used to believe, and once again, I didn't know, I used to believe I need to sell you insurance or investment product and make money.
Right.
I'm fully evolved.
Right.
I know that I don't have to do that to make money. All I have to do is to serve people. See, there were 2 apostles, they were arguing who's going to be on the right side of Jesus, who's going to be on the left side. And he said, listen, I'm going to give you my interpretation. He said, listen, y'all a bunch of knuckleheads. You've been around me all this time. You don't get it. He said, if you want to become great, you must become the servant first. God does not have a problem with you does not have a problem with you having money. What he doesn't want you to be controlled by money. What he wants you to do is to serve. And the person that serves the most gets paid the most.
I say that all the time.
Yes.
I say it all the time. I always be like,
the person that serves the most gets paid the most.
Yeah.
So now you can explain why billionaires are billionaires. Facebook, the guy that's running Facebook is a billionaire. Why? Because there are millions of people all over the world using his service.
Yes.
You got it?
Yeah. Yep.
And it don't cost you no money to get on Facebook. And we're on Facebook right now. And he's a billionaire. Why? Because he figured out a way to serve billions of people.
Yeah.
So you don't need, that's all you have to do is figure out how to serve a lot of people, and then God blesses you.
That's true. That's true.
You become an instrument.
That's true.
Take care of my people, I take care of you.
That's right.
That's true.
So I didn't know this. I was young in the business. I didn't know this. Now I know it to be a fact.
Right.
I know it to be a fact. That's why we do the podcast.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to charge people money. I know how it works.
Right. Right. Yeah. You said that. You said it earlier.
I know how it works. It comes to me. It's to me, it's like It's fun.
Yeah. It's a passion.
It's fun now.
Yeah.
And you gotta do it from your heart.
And you have to do it from your heart. You
Yeah.
can't be the wrong type of person.
Yeah, it
You
has
got to
come
have
from
a
the
heart to serve people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have a heart to serve people. I love serving people. Everybody knows me and met me. There are people that have disagreed with me, but they know my heart has been pure.
Right.
I was trying to move them from one point to the next point, and they weren't ready at that time or whatever. I don't know what it is. Doesn't make a difference. But they know my heart has been pure.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So what do you say to those people, Chuck? What do you say to the people that's this is one of the questions that I did want to ask. Now, those people that are like, we're gonna say the new word, financial trauma.
Uh-huh.
But people that are just like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I need to do this. Like my money in the bank, I can get it when I want to. Now you want me to move like the couple you said had
$1 million.
$1 million. I don't want to move my money and put it with what he's saying. I don't know. I don't know. What do you say to those people that's kind of like?
It's real simple. It's real simple. I ask one question only. What do you want?
More money. I want more money.
Great. Well, then we can work together. See, because when I ask a person with financial trauma, they can't tell me what they want.
Mm.
So if a person, I don't care how they communicate it, Chuck, I want to be all right when I retire. Great, I got you.
Right.
I speak Ebonics. I speak multiple languages. I speak wealthy language. I speak American English. I speak Ebonics. I speak it all. Okay, it's okay. Now, if that's what you really want, what I do is let's go to the future and then we work backwards, and this is your path.
Right.
If you want to buy a house, now I gave you the formula for buying a house. Okay, if your credit's bad, well, we got to work on that. We got to start saving some money.
Right.
So whatever you want, I got the solution. We just have to work backwards. I mean, and it's really amazing. It gives me great joy. I had a couple, and I met them.
That's a
they
good
weren't
question,
sure.
Jay.
Once again, in our community, they weren't sure. I looked at their financials. I said, well, how's your credit? They said, Chuck, my credit's good. I said, listen here, Doc. You're good. Here's what I'm going to do. I did their numbers. I said, this is how much house I want you to buy. I got a bank friend. I want to hook you up with this bank guy. And then I got a real estate agent. True story. This guy bought his house, him and his wife, in 30 days.
Mm.
They were ready. But once again, in our community, they didn't know they were ready.
Right.
They needed somebody like me to say, I looked at yourself, you're ready.
Right.
They came to me because they wanted to buy a house. I was speaking at a church or somewhere doing a seminar. They came up to me, Chuck, we want to get a house. I said, Doc, y'all done everything right. You good. I got a good bank. You talk to this guy. This is my loan offer you work with. You talk to this real estate agent. This real estate agent get your house. This guy was in the house. 30 days.
30
Broke the
days.
record.
Wow. Broke the record.
Right.
He broke my record.
You know what? I'm just sitting here and it just came to me, like, so we said we didn't touch on things. We would like to have you back whenever you can. And I think this is what I want to do. I want to have like a young audience.
Oh, this would be great.
Yeah, them young
A
people.
young
And Jamar,
audience.
Jay just had a question about the two. How can your kids get started into investing? But we definitely
They can get started at age 0.
Yeah.
They can get started at age 0. So yeah, we can do this. We can do it again. I love to speak to young people. In fact, I love speaking to young people because if I can help them at a very young age, it's so much easier. I told you $100 a month, you're a millionaire.
Right.
So it's easy for them to do it if they get into a groove and create a
They
discipline.
mindset
They have to get a financial discipline. Get a discipline. This is what I do. We can do discipline. I mean, we go to the gym. We do a whole bunch of things.
Right.
But we can create a financial discipline. It's easy.
I do.
Right.
A young audience is gonna be
we
good.
can do an audience, have a young
want
audience,
a young audience.
and then I can just do Q&A, question and answer.
Yes, a young audience, because when we were younger, we didn't have that in front of us and the tools and this and that, so we got lost along the way. So it was, you said, people in the beginning, that's what you said. We we didn't get wealth or whatever because of lack of knowledge, but
Lack of
it was,
knowledge.
you know, but you said it's financial trauma.
Yep.
So therefore now let's get the young kids to get them right there, you know.
Yeah. It's important. It's
Right,
it's
yeah. 'Cause
vital.
I would have loved to know this at a young age.
Me
and
too, like-
stuff where like even stuff that you're saying is some stuff that I know and I know, but it's I'm at 53 years old and it's like, heck, if I would have known that then, you know, it
But
would've
not
been
only have
powerful.
known that, but
Take advantage of
Take
it.
advantage
Yep,
of
yep.
it, yeah. So
to
you know,
understand
like,
how important it is
important
that
it
you
is,
need
right.
to do that. That's
How
what that's the
important,
problem.
right.
Like they need to understand how important it is that they need to do that, so they won't be at our age like, we need to save up money to get a car. You need to already have the money.
Right. Exactly.
It's a lot. It's a lot, man. This right here can go on forever.
Yeah, so
but-
just being more disciplined because like now at my age, I'm more disciplined than you ever.
Yes.
But who want to wait till they 50, get
Yeah,
in
like-
your 40s and 50s to become disciplined
Right.
with your finances, with your money that you go to work and you work so hard for. And, so to know the value of it and where it can take them down the line if they just put it in the right place. Enjoy it too, because I'm a strong believer. I like to enjoy my money. I get up and go to
absolutely.
work for it too.
Yeah.
Because,
Absolutely.
sometimes people don't even enjoy, their money that they made. It's just, so I like to teach them, to how to enjoy it without going broke, to
Absolutely.
enjoy it. So in the future, you still got this to fall back on. Like
Absolutely.
you said, to have those different
Yeah, the
accounts.
three different-
So
the
this
wealth
is an account that
account.
you.
Yep.
the
So-
emergency,
Yeah, so then they can know that, so I understand what you're saying about those accounts. It is good to have three or
Exactly.
four different accounts or whatever. But to get at our age to finally be in there to do it,
Yeah.
Well, don't look at that as negatives. I'm
No.
hoping the
Right,
positive-
right.
Yeah,
It's positive that you're dealing with it. You got a question, and then I'm sitting here. So it's called an opportunity because your situation don't scare me. We got thousands of clients. We literally got thousands of clients. I done seen everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I done seen it
Right,
all.
right.
So I done seen everything. So it doesn't bother me. Like I said, the most important question is what you want.
Right.
And if you're committed to your goals, I'm committed to mine. If you're committed to your goals,
Yeah.
easy. My job is just to teach you.
right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's what we're
Yeah.
gonna do. We're gonna have an audience with a younger generation.
Yeah, get some young folks in here. Get a bunch of them in the room.
Yeah,
and we
so
do
we're gonna
Q&A.
make that happen. We're gonna talk. We're gonna set a date. We're gonna make that happen.
And as usual, about this time, I want to present Mr. Chuck with a gift from our collection, and I personalized this for you. This is the first time I personalized something. You're gonna be like, okay, this is pretty dope. So we want to give you a Product of the City podcast shirt, but it's a little twist on
It's a
it.
twist. We didn't get.
Invest black dollars. There you go.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, show it to the camera so they can see that. Yeah. And that's his personalized. So I'm gonna make one of them for myself. I like that. I said, yeah, that's nice. I'm gonna have to make one for myself though.
There you go.
Yeah. So we had to thank you for coming on, man.
Oh, thank
Yes,
you. I
we
appreciate it.
appreciate you.
We definitely gonna have a part 2 and a part 3, maybe. I don't know, but this next one will be the one that you wanted to add the
younger
younger
generation.
crowd.
You're
Yeah.
supposed to have an audience of young folks. So
Yeah.
that just
Came to you.
Came to me, yeah, so.
That would be very
let's do
nice
it.
because
Let's do
they
it.
need it so bad, man.
And I love talking to the young people because I just look back. I say to myself, I wish I would have known this stuff.
Man, I
That's
wish
what
I
I'm
would have
saying
known
here,
this.
Like, some of the stuff, that I be seeing, over the years or whatever. But like, if I knew, that's that epiphany moment or whatever.
Yeah.
If I,
And Sharitha said something about that too. I'm not gonna get deep into it, but she did say like, our parents, and it's not their fault, but our parents didn't like really teach us because they probably didn't know. Yeah, they didn't know.
no.
My parents didn't know. My aunts and uncles, my parents worked hard, but they saved all their money in the bank.
Yeah.
So
But
we
now
gonna-
there's
we
no
about-
excuse.
We're gonna
No
make
excuse.
that happen.
No
That's
excuse.
what the
No
product of the
excuse.
city is for. That is what our platform is for. We want to come on here and we want to help people
Yes.
in all areas, aspect of life, not just financial. If y'all follow us on our podcast, that's what we are for. Everything that's positive and uplifting. That's what we our platform. We stand by. Me and my husband, product of the city. And like he had said too, our platform, we don't try to charge people to come on or, our platform is a free platform just to get the word out there,
Yes.
just to get the word out there. And that's what we want to do. Because you know what? Like you said, you serve people, you get out there, it comes back to you.
God
and
blesses you.
God
Amen.
blesses us.
God
God blesses
Amen.
us in so many ways, like that we don't even talk about. Like
Amen.
we don't even talk about. I had to learn to shut my mouth somewhat. But God do blesses us. He
Yes.
do. He blessed us in so many ways. So
So once again, we want to thank Mr. Chuck Futel, the guru. I'm gonna say guru. I'm gonna say guru of financial advisory. So yes, get to know him. We're gonna, like we said, we're gonna have another session with Mr. Chuck, and he's gonna touch on more subjects. Like the time went so quick. Like I thought it was like 20 minutes. We up in the hour and 20 minutes. So yeah, it's crazy. But if you need a shirt, you need some product of the city gear. We have Mr. Miles Davis. Like I said in the beginning, I don't know if you heard it, but you got to know Mr. Miles Davis, and she has the lovely Miss Roberta Flack, who has passed away this year. So
yeah, she did. So this is a product of the city too. Our t-shirts line is where we can make any t-shirt that you want, graphic t-shirts or whatever you want to put on there. But lately, what we're mostly our t-shirt and product of the city t-shirts, we want like a lot of Black icons and past and present, the ones who had passed on or whatever. Those are the t-shirts that we really trying to promote more. You see that a lot, but we also can get whatever you want on there. We're not like discriminating or anything, but our t-shirt company, we really like try to promote more of the Black icons, so they faces, then they won't be forgetting about, and then you can remember what they did for us. So that's
very
what
important.
whether it be music, civil rights, anything, whatever you want, on your t-shirt, come holler.
Yes, come holler. And don't forget to invest, save. Those three things that he said was emergency,
Yep. Short term.
wealth, or short term,
Yeah, short term, and then the wealth account.
and then the
your
wealth account. And you'll be set. But get a better assessment, make sure you talk to Mr. Chuck.
Can you tell
Trust
them
me.
where they can reach you at?
Yes, tell them.
Yes, you can reach me at our office. The phone number is 513-821-3332. Once again, my phone number is 513-821-3332.
And
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And before we go, can we give another shout out to your wife and what she's running for? And
Yes,
and her name?
please support my wife. Her name is Marcia Futel. She's running for Cincinnati Public School Board. So vote for her this fall. She's on the ballot already. So what we need your vote. Everybody knows there's trauma and there's challenges at Cincinnati Public School system. And so what that means is they need to bring some new people in to really come in and help the situation. My wife is committed to helping the kids and helping them reach a better future.
And so for those who don't know, how long she been doing this?
My wife has been involved now probably 25 years.
25 years.
25 years. I retired her in 2000, really because my son, he was not doing good in high school.
Right.
And they would call me all the time, Mr. Futel, come and talk to your son, come and get your son. And it was like 2 and 3 times a week.
Right.
And so I'm like, listen, we got a situation. And so I had her to quit her job so that way she can personally go up there and threaten my son, slip up on him and so that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And it's kind of comical. My son is now a teacher.
Ain't that something?
You see what I'm saying?
Look at God.
God is good.
Man.
And that's a story in and of himself. But he's an excellent teacher.
Wow.
He can go into a room of kids and within 5 minutes, he can sense the room and he can control all the kids in the room. He's got a gift. He really has a gift, and then they just love him and he could pour into them. He's really got a gift.
that's awesome.
That's awesome.
So that's where it started
So
at.
go vote for her. If
So
she
vote
can turn
for
her
her.
own child to being a teacher from acting up,
Yes.
go
Yes.
vote for her. Y'all want her on that.
You need her. You
board.
need her on the council.
On the council, on the Cincinnati board,
Yeah,
public school
you
board.
really do, because he was one of these kids, and I hate to say this, he was one of these kids that could have been a statistic or would have been lost.
Man.
And so because of some things we've done in our home,
Sacrifice.
some things we've done in our home, and we will teach all of y'all to do the same thing. We can make a difference for the lives of our kids and change the future, their future, and the future of generations.
Yes.
Yes. So go vote for
Marcia
Marcia
Futel.
Futel for the Cincinnati Board of Education.
Yes.
And thank you again for coming on.
Yes.
All right,
Thank you. Yes.
And for you all who watching, thanks
I hope
again
you learned
for always
something, man. But you
watching.
got it. When we have him come back on, please tune in so you can learn more and catch this episode edited so you can really get everything that you needed to hear and everything you need in the beginning and everything. But on YouTube at Product of the City Podcast. But we'll get to that later. But we want to thank you once again, Mr. Chuck. And we about to be out. We love y'all for tuning in. Please subscribe and we out. Peace.
You're just a product of